Sheriff Boyd needs someone new to watch his ass. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, the home of all From content. And we are here to review From Season 2, Episode 4. This one is called This Way Gone. So we kick off the episode with a flashback. We all love flashbacks here on Fog Entertainment. This was no different. Very good flashback. It shows you the day that Kenny brings his father in to the clinic, where basically his father's going to stay here, see it the rest of his days. They can't trust him. His father's been sleepwalking. He tried to open the door the previous night. He pushed his mother, his wife out the way, and he was going to open the door and let the monsters in. Man. So they can't take that chance. They can't allow him to do that. So now he's going to have to live at the clinic, where they've got a basement and he can be locked away at night, which is a smart idea. It does sound a little bit grim every night. This guy's getting forced into a basement, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is for his own good and his own safety and the safety of his family too, and the safety of the town. So
exactly, we can't have deaths.
Like, what happens if someone in the colony house is like going senile, or if someone's in the colony house is, got dementia or whatever, sleepwalks? It just wouldn't be good. So yeah, no, for me, this is probably the right decision. Obviously, his father, Quan Lu, is, he doesn't want to stay here. He wants to be in his...
He wants to be in his own family house.
But
again, right, could Kenny and his mom, or one of them, not take turns in who spends the night with this guy? I know they're just down the road.
I know, but they're willing to come in and see him every day. Fuck me.
It's just living in a basement. In this shit world, right, what's the difference between living in the basement of a fucking medical facility, clinic, or your own house? That's not really your own house, because it's pish. I feel like sacrifices could have been made here. I'm not saying Kenny's responsible for his death, absolutely not, but I feel like they could have maybe lived with him a wee bit more.
And there was a good table as well, so they could play chess whenever they want, so I think...
Kenny, me not like it.
Yeah, so then Kenny goes outside, he's getting pretty emotional. Boyd sees him, Boyd says, yeah, pretty tough when you first see your parents struggling like that. Kenny reveals that his dad's in pretty bad shape. Boyd says that you need dependable people here to keep this town intact, keep this town safe. And then Boyd offers Kenny, obviously he's seen Kenny, he thinks Kenny is responsible, he likes Kenny's attitude, he thinks Kenny's a good guy, and he says he could do with someone to watch his six, basically watch his ass. And this is confirmed as how Kenny becomes Boyd's deputy. So I like the flashback, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like when flashbacks actually have a
point.
Yeah, and also it's very parallel to how the episode ended as well. I feel like there's nothing worse than flashbacks.
They don't add anything.
They just take up time. It's like, well, what was the point of that? I remember he tied his shoelaces on the night.
Sometimes I feel like with some shows they're just missing 2 minutes and they're like, right here, sticking a wee flashback.
Lost.
Yeah. In the present, then Kenny is running. He finds Boyd. He brings Boyd to Sara. I don't know what he's expecting Boyd to say, but he wasn't expecting this. Boyd tells Kenny that he needs to speak with Sara alone. Kenny doesn't really know why. He's reluctant to go, but he goes upstairs and allows Boyd and Sara to speak. Boyd wants to know what happened to Sara. Sara explains that she did follow him through the tree, but she didn't go to the same place as Boyd, and she ended up here. She's been staying here. She tells Boyd that she's going to have to go in the box, basically, because there's no way that she can live here again with them. But Boyd says that ain't happening, and that they will figure something out. Then Boyd speaks to Kenny upstairs. He just says to Kenny, look, I'm going to be upfront about this. I'm not going to mince my words. Sarah's connected to the town. She hears voices, and Kenny's like, what? Yeah, she's crazy. Obviously she hears voices, but Boyd tries to explain it. No, it's more than that. She's actually connected to this place, and that, she can be useful. We can use her to try and find a way out of here. Kenny doesn't think it's going to work. Kenny's like, look, she's dangerous. She killed her own brother. She almost killed the Matthews boy. He's 9 years old. Boyd goes, yeah, she's done a lot of bad things. She killed those people. Kenny's like, what do you mean people?
Do you not know your plurals, boy?
It was only one person. Boyd's like, yeah, you know what I meant, man. Kenny's going, I don't think people are going to like it. People won't feel comfortable around her. I think she needs to go in the box. And Boyd's like, ain't nobody going in the goddamn box.
It's mad though that like Boyd says, "Oh, she killed those people." He like brushes it off, and it's like one of those people was his dad.
Yeah. Then Boyd has a bit of a meltdown. He goes outside. He's shaking, and he falls, and Kenny helps him get to the clinic. Julie takes Ethan to the colony house to see Victor. Victor's upset. Victor doesn't want to talk to him. He says that you and Jade came into my room and destroyed things. If Ethan says, "I'm sorry, I told him not to," Victor tells Ethan, "Well, you should have said it louder."
Cheap pop for me, Victor.
I mean, Victor's got like this child mentality. I like Victor. I think he's a good character. Yep. I enjoy Victor.
It's a sad day when he goes.
I tell you what, the guy that plays him looks nothing like Victor in real life, so they must put like a lot of effort into making this guy look.
Is he about the same age, or did they make him look older?
No, he's about the same age, like, but he just.
You wouldn't think it's him?
No, you wouldn't think it's him.
He has a look at Joaquin Phoenix about him, doesn't he?
Aye, what's that, like guy William Dafoe?
Aye, the jawline.
Aye.
No, he looks like the guy for the Strain.
Strong jaw, strong pack lunch.
Ike Horst.
You think so?
I can leave it like him.
I'm not really seeing the Ike Horst, but here, if that's another series you want to see in this channel, The Strain, could that be popular? Could Fog Entertainment be the new home of The Strain? Find out. But
guess what, guys? I do it for you. I don't do it for the money.
Yeah, let's get back to.
I do it for you.
I do it for the family. Let's get back to the review. So that is happening there. We get Julie talking to the new kid Elgin, and I'm going to be honest. Julie annoys me, and I could not give a monkey's shit about Elgin.
Nope, literally not. It's just weird that she's just so bipolar. One scene she's a cunt. And one scene she's like this.
Yeah, trying to help people,
but they're teenagers, that's what they're like. See this fucking mistake about teenagers, man, it's so over fucking done and stuff. Why can't they just be their own person? Rather than just play to the stereotypes of their moody bastards?
Yeah, so yeah.
Like, a whole family was going to die, like you said last episode. Oh, no, it's just about clothes. And in this episode, I'm going to help the new kid. Who, it wouldn't have surprised me when she was walking in here. She said to Ethan, like, "Look at that weirdo on the porch." She likes burying people at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the character, so, I mean, it is what. And this Elgin guy, we're supposed to believe that he could see things, and he's a little bit, I don't know, superstitious, he's got the visions, but, like, we just don't really care. It's like, I feel like Sarah's connected, I feel like the other characters that see these things are connected. Victor, when he sees the boy in white, to me it's like relevant. Elgin having visions about not turning the bus around, I mean, I just don't care. And I get it, you could argue that unless you do this stuff, you're not going to care about any new characters. I get that. But I don't feel like this show's done a good job of bringing in the new characters in Season 2. I don't think they've done a good job at all.
No, and I feel like they could struggle big time if they begin to kill off the OGs and leave the bus.
I just feel like there was enough important stuff happening in Season 1 that you didn't really need all these new characters in Season 2.
Especially a busload.
Yeah, so...
maybe a mini fan load.
Anyway, Christy is looking over Boyd. He talks about spider bites. She's looking at the spider bites, and then he says, "Oh shit, look at this. You're not going to tell me how this happened?" Boyd says, "Nah, it's just scratched on a tree." I mean, his arm's literally sliced in two.
It's like Woody for Toy Story 2.
Woody! And yeah, he's like, "Nah, scratch. It doesn't even look like a tree scratch."
No.
What kind of tree scratch would do this?
I know, literally.
Well, what kind of tree would actually do this?
Fucking angry one.
Very angry tree. She then talks about impairments and Parkinson's, and
you can suffer from depression, and he's like, "Ha ha, look around."
She says, "Don't put everyone here's depressed," which I thought was pretty funny. Then she tells him, "Don't add any unnecessary stress to yourself," and he starts breaking out, and he's like, "What the hell? How could anyone here be more stressed?" And then she kind of laughs too. So, guess
I mean, he is the top man. He basically carries all the load on his back. How the fuck's he not going to get stressed?
Yeah. Also, Fatima asked Julie to be one of her bridesmaids, but again, I just
don't care.
Doesn't really bother me.
The fact they're getting married in this house just sums them up.
Jade goes into the bar and he finds the bus driver back to drinking alone. Now, I'm not too sure who poured her drink, considering that Tom is dead, so the bartender. And there was actually a funny line about him later on in the episode, which we will we'll talk about. But Back is blaming herself. She says that the people got on this bus and they're expected to get to their destination. She is expected to get them to their destination. And she's annoyed that she didn't turn the bus around when the kid Elgin said to do it. Jade asks her when he wanted the bus turned around. Was it before or after the tree? She tells him after the tree, and he's like, well, don't worry about it. He's were screwed already.
Which is funny.
And then he says, and let's face it, you can't beat yourself up over, these people being stuck here. And it's like, they were riding a bus, so their lives couldn't have been that good in the first place.
No, but see the thing, right? She's making out here that she was a corporal, she was a sergeant sending our boys into war.
She got them slaughtered.
Driving the bus.
She got them slaughtered. I mean, this is ridiculous. It'd be like, this is no different from Jim blaming himself because he was driving, or Boyd blaming himself.
Aye. But at least they were cringy. This is she's like beating herself up about something there's nothing to be beat up about.
Then she speaks about how she just got her degree, but she was also planning to retire, and it's like, normally you get your degree when you're young and you retire when you're old, but she got her degree and was considering retiring at the exact same time. What age does that make her? Honestly, we do not know, but they have a little toast here. I mean, I like Jade. I feel like he hasn't really had much to do, though, in Season 2.
No.
And I find it mad that Jim hasn't spoke to Jade about the radio, considering they both put so much effort into getting the radio up and working.
And now they're living in the same house, basically.
Yeah, I feel like Jade deserves to know.
I feel like a lot of people deserve to know stuff in this show.
Tabitha goes looking for Jim. He has left the clinic. She bumps into Christy's fiance, and at first I think she might believe she's stealing supplies, but then she tells her, no, I'm a nurse, I'm helping Christy with inventory, and they just kind of like an awkward, at first it was almost like she thought she was stealing, and then it was like she thought maybe she was like interested in her husband. That's what the vibes I got.
Yeah, it was just an awkward scene.
It was like,
it wasn't needed.
It's like, right, why are you with that medicine? And then when she finds out that she's got no plan to steal it, she's like, okay, why are you here with my husband? It was just a bit weird to me. But she explains that Jim left. She then finds Jim. Jim is looking at everyone getting their stuff off the bus, and then Jim tells Tabitha Tabitha tells her about the voice that he heard. Well, he heard a voice on the radio. She explains that the wires weren't connected to anything. Jim says that's not possible, but he says when he builds rides, you try and make the impossible possible.
I mean, fucking amusement park rides are completely different to this.
But he uses that as an analogy. He explains that he heard the voice. Now, at first I don't think Tabitha really believes him, or she thinks that he might have just heard it, but Don obviously heard it too, and he thinks that there could be someone watching them, and that someone is testing them, and this is like some sort of experiment here to see how they would react, testing their reactions. I mean, possible. I think that would be a bit lame if that was the actual.
But could he go into a bit more detail? Like, how's it done?
Testing the reactions for what, though?
Yeah, it's even. I don't get it.
I know you got Squid Game. It's like that's like people actually. That's like rich people, and they're like getting enjoyment out of that, and they're making money as well. It's like, what would be the? I mean, I guess you could have people betting on who lasts the longest.
Could be, but we've seen like a period in this. What, 96 days? I mean, that's a pretty shite period. Is that the summer break?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I just don't really know. But I mean, I wonder if Jim will go into this theory with anyone. And again, it's just Jim and Tabitha. Sorry, I keep calling her Tabitha. Jim and Tabitha, they explain to each other what they know, but they're not telling anyone else.
Jade needs to know. Boyd needs to know.
Jim then goes to the colony house, and he speaks to Donna. Donna's like, yeah, I heard the message, but Donna says, you really are a dumb son of a bitch, aren't you? She says, if there is someone that is talking to them, what makes him think that they are trying to help. And she says, look, haven't you seen all these monsters running around?
I don't think he didn't even try to say they were trying to help.
Yeah.
He pointed at the fact the message sounded threatening.
Ripping these people's faces off. Donna says, we don't want to let these people know that we know about them. But if this guy spoke to Jim, then obviously Jim knows about him. So I don't really understand that. And Donna thinks that, yeah, we should do something with this, but we need to find out more. Well, to find out more, shouldn't they go to Boyd? And I'm not saying involve everyone, but shouldn't there be some sort of council where you've got maybe like 5 or 6 or whatever of the more, like, I don't know, more important, maybe the smartest, more level-headed people in the town, and they can like discuss things like this rather than all the secrets. And I don't know,
because her logic here is until we find out more, but if you don't do anything, you're never going to find out anything more.
For example, you've got Donna, who's the leader of the colony house, so she can be in there. Sheriff Boyd, he's there. Kenny watches his 6, or at least he did. He should be there. You got Jim and Jade, who I think are both smart and both helped build the tower and the radio. I would include them. And Victor seems to know shit, and if you want to include... But shouldn't they maybe get together and discuss everything that they know?
No, I think's mad though, right? Tamitha has not even said that the monsters live in these caves. I'm not saying that reveal, right, is the biggest thing since sliced bread, but I feel like there could be actions that could prevent them coming out, or at least limit it, or something.
Yeah, but we don't know anything about that because Tabitha hasn't told anyone, so...
Exactly. So.
And neither's Victor. I mean, you can almost accept Victor not doing it because he's got this kind of, like, loner... kind of mentality.
Victor's got about 55 years of secrets that no one's going to know.
Yeah, so I mean, but why she hasn't said anything to anybody?
Like, she thought it was more key to point out the fact the wires aren't connected to anything, rather to where the wires led to.
Now they already knew there was something weird going on with electricity. So again, I think the fact that they were living underneath there was the bigger thing. Plus, we see her when, like, she's had that vision with like the girls as well. She hasn't mentioned that to anyone. Why? We do not know. Boyd has a vision of Falakatra at the post office, and I think they have a very good, funny interaction here. Falakatra's like, what are you going to do about this? I don't think you should tell Boyd. I don't think you should tell Kenny about what happened to his father. You know, he's going to blame you. You tried to protect Sara and all this stuff, and then Boyd, like, pretty much screams at Falakatra. He's like, this is all your goddamn fault. You're the one that did this. And Falakatra says that's pretty poor of you, blaming the dead.
Pretty great wee line there for big Falakatra, but great seeing him back, and he says, even dead, you're more of an asshole. Boyd tells Falakatra, and I like that.
Yeah, you're more of an asshole dead than you were alive.
You know what? Was it a mistake killing him off so early?
I think so, but
Not at the time.
I hope we get, even at the time, I like Falakatra. He's definitely one of my favourite characters of the show. Possibly even my second favourite character of the show. I don't know, I'd have to...
I don't feel like he needed to die. I feel like at the time it was like, that was a massive deal, but I feel like it was going at such a pace, it was fine. But I feel like now we've introduced this busload of characters, like, I don't see anybody that can live up to this guy's potential.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean,
he comes back in this flashback and it's like, fuck, this guy's brilliant.
I think it was a standout scene of the episode.
Yeah, we need him back.
I hope we get more Falakatra in flashbacks. Maybe it could just be a thing where Falakatra's like an addition to Boyd or something. I don't know, could it be like Boyd... You know what I mean? Like, could it be like Boyd's right-hand man, but in a form of like a...
Could be his new 6.
Yeah, it could be his new 6. Maybe Falakatra.
Every person through the bus this episode, in my estimation, got worse. I felt like Christie's...
Well, the bus driver didn't really do much, I don't think.
The bus. Elgin just boring the tits clean office. Randall didn't want a guy looking through his bag, but did he get to choose whether he was in town or not?
Yeah, so, let's move on. So yeah, after Jim leaves Colony House, Randall's freaking out about someone going through his things, so he pushes him and then kicks him. Donna isn't happy, but he says, look, you go through my stuff and you get this the shit slapped out of you. Donna's not taking it. Fatima thinks that maybe we should relax some of the rules around the house when it comes to sharing stuff, and Donna's like, what, and give him a whole fucking wing of the house while we're at it, and she's like, nah, no way. Grabs an axe, tells him to get up. He doesn't get up, so she smashes the axe into the wall. Then he gets up and she's like, come with me, and she puts him to live in the bus. She gives him a talisman and tells him, look, you keep this here and you make sure it doesn't fall off the window, because once it does, it's just a dumb rock and it's not going to save you. And
this went for him not wanting to share his clothes to being forced to live in a fucking bus.
Well, at least he's not being forced into the box. I mean, that's probably...
But did he warrant the box for a punch or a push? Come on.
What I think will happen is that he'll have one night in the bus.
And then he'll come crawling back.
Yeah. And it might change his attitude. Or, I mean, who knows? Will he survive a night in the bus?
Exactly.
When Donna left the bus and closed the door, didn't look like it closed. And again, it didn't look that secure.
Doors, though, they're very weird.
Yeah.
It's like hydraulic press sort of deal.
Now, hopefully this guy's smart. Hopefully he's made sure all the windows are closed. Again, I'm not saying living in this town's great, but I think living on a bus is a bit shit.
With nothing covering the windows.
They are going, and if they see you there, I especially with him being new, these monsters are smart. They're probably just going to play mind games with him the entire night. I don't think it's a case of they're going to walk up to the bus, realise there's a talisman there, and went, well, we'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
See, when they see him on the bus, I literally think they're going to be at the windows.
Maybe next episode is just going to be a Randall episode.
A Randall exclusive, and it's just him on the bus. If this bus goes under 50, the monsters get in. It's like Speed, but for From.
But should you not have been given the keys, though?
How?
Because you need the keys to, like, operate stuff.
What's he going to operate?
The fucking door.
Does he want to operate the door?
In case someone comes in.
Oh, if someone comes in, I think it's too late for him, mate.
If everyone comes in the back window, he needs a way out. Dolphin dive at the windscreen. I don't know, but this gimmick's not going to last long. Randall, he's doing a wee bit in my estimation.
Was he ever up in your estimation?
No, but like I said, I just feel like all these characters have went a wee bit nosediving.
Yeah, Kenny asks Sara questions about her abilities, but she won't tell him much. She says that she has something to tell him. No, Kenny wants Sara to give him something that so she doesn't have to go in the box. He wants to believe Sara. He doesn't want Sara to look bad, and then that makes Boyd look bad. Kenny says he wants to protect Boyd, but he needs Sara to give him answers, and then Sarah's like, you know what? I'm bad. I've done something. I need to tell you something. Boyd then goes to try and find Kenny, but we see the old woman from the bus, and she's like, you ain't going to find your deputy in there. He is head down to the clinic. Boyd then goes down to the clinic, and he finds Kenny looking into the basement where his father died. Kenny says every night, he never heard his mum cry until they got here. Then every night she sobs, thinking that she is the one to blame, and that if she was living in the basement with his father would never have opened the door and let them in. But then Kenny says, but he didn't let them in, did he? Kenny knows then that it was Sara. Boyd's like, no, yeah, you're right, he didn't let them in. Kenny demands to know when Boyd is going to tell him. Boyd's like, yeah, I knew the night before I went out I was going to tell you. But Kenny doesn't believe him. He's like,
I can see why Kenny's totally pissed with him.
Yeah, Kenny's like, when were you going to tell me? And he's like, he doesn't really have an answer. It's like, I was going to tell you, I just
not tonight.
Yeah, just not tonight. Kenny basically tells Boyd that she's going in the box, and then he takes off his badge, throws it down at Boyd's feet, and he tells him, you watch your own 6.
As he was sitting directly across from the clock with his back to the clock at 6.
And Kenny storms out, and this might be the end of the Deputy Kenny arc, which I think would be strange considering we only know Kenny really as Boyd's deputy, but it
was very fitting to the flashback at the start.
And that's why I like, when you see this ending, it just makes the flashback even better.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed the flashback. I enjoyed the ending. I really enjoyed seeing Fowler Catry as well. And it was cool, I guess, to see Kenny's Fowler in the first flashback. But, I mean, other than that, again, I didn't think it was the greatest episode. I thought it was a bit better than episode 3. I think the ending and the beginning and also the Falicatri scene in the middle, I felt definitely helped the episode big time. But
I mean, episode 5 is going to be the fallout of this. Sarah's probably going to wong in the box, and then Randall's going to be on the bus. That's pretty much where I see it going.
Yeah, although, who knows, apparently episode 6, guys. Well, it's a big episode, episode 6.
Well, episode 5's next, son.
Best of the series, apparently. So, that's time then to rate the episode. I gave episode 3 a 5. I thought this one was better than that. I'm going to give it a 6. I mean, I really, really enjoyed the Falicatri and Boyd segment, like, where they had the vision of Falicatri, and basically Falicatri was saying that Boyd's done this all wrong, he's made poor decisions, and Boyd's like, this is your fucking idea! You're the one that kept Sara alive, I mean, at the start, Boyd was like, yeah, she should be punished. It kind of was Falicatri's whole idea, and now Falicatri's almost blaming Boyd.
The Cosmo chocolate bar.
So yeah, I'll get a 6 as well. 6 out of 10, guys. That's it. We will find out what happens in the next episode, episode 5. That is us officially caught up with no more episodes to watch. Now we have to do what everybody else has to do, and that is wait every week for Sunday.
And will that have an effect on it compared to the binge mentality that we've been going on? It could.
I don't know. I feel like when you got the opportunity to binge, then obviously you take it and you love to do it, but then I feel like oh, it'd be good if you actually had to wait a week. But then I feel like when you have to wait a week, you're almost sitting there thinking,
no,
I would love the opportunity to binge this. I want to see the next episode.
Exactly.
So I mean, I guess it just depends on your situation. But that's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Until then, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and peace.